Hi guys, and welcome back to CanbabySurrogacy. I'm Ethan, a senior embryologist who has been working and living in North America for years. If you're new here, this channel is all about affordable surrogacy, IVF, egg donation, and cross-border fertility solutions for international families, shared with real clinical experience, inside industry knowledge, and street talk. Today's video is going to answer one of the most common and the most misunderstood questions I get every week. Is surrogacy really legal in Colombia? And how does it actually work in real life? And if you are currently considering surrogacy in Colombia, you are very welcome to click the link below to schedule a Zoom consultation with my team. We will review your situation privately and help you understand your realistic options in a clear and responsible way. Most people who talk about Colombia surrogacy online have never actually read the law behind it. They repeat what agencies say, they copy what websites claim, and many of them don't truly understand where the real legal boundaries are. Today I'm going to explain, in plain English, how surrogacy actually works in Colombia, legally and practically. No marketing language, no fantasy, no sugarcoating, just the real structure. First, is surrogacy legal in Colombia or not? The honest answer is that Colombia does not have a single written surrogacy law like some US states do. There is no one statute that lays out every rule in one place. Instead, surrogacy in Colombia exists under the protection of the national constitution and a series of constitutional court and Supreme Court decisions. The Constitution clearly states that the children born naturally and the children born through the medical assistance have the same legal rights. The Constitutional Court has also confirmed that there is no law that explicitly prohibits surrogacy agreement. That means surrogacy is legally allowed because it's not forbidden, and because it supports the constitutional right to form a family. But allowed does not mean uncontrolled. It means it must follow strict ethical and legal expectations. Colombia only accepts one form of surrogacy, and this is extremely important. Only gestational surrogacy is permitted. That means the woman who carries the pregnancy cannot use her own eggs and cannot have any genetic relationships to the baby. The embryo must come from the intended parents or from a donor combined with at least one intended parent's genetics. If someone offers you the traditional surrogacy in Colombia, where the surrogate also provides the egg, that is a serious red flag. So in Colombia, the surrogate is legally treated as a carrier, not a biological mother. Colombia courts have also laid out very clear expectations for what a legitimate surrogacy arrangement looks like. There must be a real medical reason for using surrogacy. It is not meant to be a casual lifestyle shortcut. The surrogate must be an adult, physically healthy and psychologically stable, and in most cases, she must already have at least one child of her own. She must undergo full medical examinations, psychological evaluations, and continuous monitoring before and after pregnancy. Most importantly, there must be clear written informed consent from everyone involved. This consent must be documented. Once the surrogate has given consent and the embryo is transferred, she cannot later change her mind and claim the baby as her own. At the same time, the intended parents also take a very serious legal duty. They cannot refuse or abandon the child under any circumstances, whether because of gender disability or medical complications. Once you enter this process, that child is legally and morally your responsibility. Even if something happens to the intended parents before birth, the law requires that the child must remain legally protected. Colombia places the right of the child above the convenience of all adults involved. Now, let's talk about the part that scares most international parents, the birth certificate. At the moment of birth, the surrogate is usually listed on the initial birth certificate. This is because Colombia's civil law follows the basic legal presumption that the woman who gave birth is initially considered the mother. But this is not the final legal status. Colombian law allows what is called a challenge of maternity. After birth, a DNA test is performed to prove that the surrogate has no genetic link to the baby and that at least one intended parent does have a genetic link. Based on the DNA result, the medical records, the surrogacy agreement, and the informed consent document, your lawyer files a court case. The court can then legally remove the surrogate as the mother and recognize the intended parent or parents as the legal parents. For a single man, the court can formally recognize him as a legal single father. For a male couple, the genetically linked father is legally recognized first, and the further legal steps may follow depending on the home country's laws. So yes, the surrogate is listed first on paper, but Colombia provides a clear, formal, court-backed pathway to place legal parenthood where it belongs. If you are planning to use donor eggs in Colombia, there is one non-negotiable rule you must understand. Egg donation in Colombia must be anonymous. Non-egg donation is not permitted. You cannot bring a friend or relative as donor, and you cannot maintain an open identity donor relationship inside Colombia. All egg donors must come through licensed clinic and regulated anonymous donor program. This protects the donor's privacy, the child's legal identity, and the intended parents from future legal disputes. Singles and same-sex couples are also fully included under Colombian law. The Constitution guarantees equality and prohibits discrimination. The Constitutional Court has legalized same-sex marriage and granted same-sex couples the right to adopt. Following that same legal logic, singles and same-sex couples also have the right to form families through assisted reproduction. So in practice, single men can pursue surrogacy in Colombia, male couples can pursue surrogacy in Colombia, and female couples can pursue assisted reproduction and in medically necessary cases surrogacy as well. The key requirement remains the same. There must be a genetic link to at least one. For international families, another important point is that the foreigners in Colombia enjoy the same civil rights as Colombian citizens. That includes access to medical treatment, assisted reproduction, and legal parentage procedures. There is also practical benefit that many people are surprised to learn. Because the surrogate is initially listed on the birth certificate, the baby is considered to have a Colombian parent at birth. This often allows the baby to obtain Colombian citizenship and a Colombian passport, which can make early international travel easier while you complete the legal procedure required by your home country. Now the big question, is Colombia safe or risky for surrogacy? The real answer is that Colombia is neither a perfectly detailed statutory system like California, nor a legal vacuum. Its surrogacy framework is built on its constitutional protections, court rulings, civil law procedures, and established medical practice. If you follow the legal framework correctly and work with ethical professionals, Colombia offers a legally workable and defensible surrogacy pathways. But if you cut corners, ignore proper screening, rely on informal agreement, or trust people who promise to fix the document later, your risk does not come from Colombia. Your risk comes from the people you choose to work with. Before you sign anything, you should be asking very direct questions. Is the surrogacy always gestational with no genetic link to the carrier? How is informed consent documented and protected? Who handles the post-birth court process? And how long does it typically take? What protections exist if the intended parents face unexpected emergencies? How is the surrogate medically and psychologically screened? How are DNA testing, court filings, birth registrations, and passport all coordinated for international families? If this question cannot be answered clearly, you are not dealing with a professional system. Colombia is not perfect, no country is, but it is also not the lawless baby market that some people imagine. It is a country where surrogacy operates under constitutional principles, where children's rights are prioritized, where genetic truth is central to parentage, and where legal parenthood is resolved through court-backed procedures. This real danger is not Colombia. The real danger is ignorance, overconfidence, and trusting people who only show you the good parts. Surrogacy is never just a medical decision. It's a legal decision, a moral decision, and a lifelong responsibility. If you are considering Colombia, the real question is not whether it is cheap or fast. The real question is whether you are doing it in a way that your future child will never have to question their legal identity. So that's it for today's video. If you've been wondering whether surrogacy is really legal in Colombia and how it actually works behind the scenes, now you have the clear picture. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And please don't forget to subscribe to the CanbabySurrogacy channel for more real-world surrogacy insight, legal breakdowns, and behind-the-scenes area of knowledge. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!